Howdy, today I'll be talking about cow manure as a biofuel. So let's get started. What is cow manure? Cow manure is waste that contains digested grass and grain, typically used as a fertilizer because it contains nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which helps boost the growth of plants. Cow manure also retains soil's moisture, which allows for better gaseous exchange and as beneficial microbes. But it can also be used for more than just fertilization. It can also be used to produce energy. And we will get to that in a moment, but first we'll talk about how manure is produced and cultivated. So cow manure is produced from the digestion of glucose, which is produced from the photosynthesis in the plants they consume, and is also composed of both urine and feces. Typically, for cultivation, farmers can plow the manure to use as fertilizer instead of buying from a store, which is more cost efficient, or they will collect it in a machine called a digester and use it as a source for electrical energy. So is it available? Short answer, yes. However, lots of farmers keep it for their own use, so getting fresh manure is difficult. The method used to convert manure to energy is scarce with dairy farms around the country. Not a lot of people usually invest in this. It can also negatively impact the environment. But overall, there is a wide availability of it, and it can be used as a replacement for energy production without affecting the amount of manure needed for fertilization. So carbon footprint and economic impact of cow manure. So cow manure emits about 2 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide equivalents per year. A car will have to drive 7,800 miles to produce 2,300 kilograms of carbon dioxide. That means you could drive 7,800 miles per year and produce the same effect of the environment that a cow does in 1 year producing manure. Also, agriculture is responsible for 18% of the total release of greenhouse gases worldwide, which is more than the whole transportation sector. The economic impact, however, somewhat counters this. The elements within manure can produce fuels for transportation, heating, or to generate electricity. Farms can collect the cow manure into a pile and are mixed with the waste vegetables in a machine called a digester. The process produces methane gas, which is collected into an engine and converted into power. This power can then be used to heat homes and produce electricity. This is called anaerobic digestion, which is shown in the figure on the left. Manure can also be converted into syngas, which can then be used to power fuel cells, turbines, and engines. This is called gasification. These processes are more cost efficient, especially for farmers, and can remove the need to pay for electricity bills. So some communicating efforts towards the public. Most people know cow manure can be used for fertilization, especially those who live in the countryside. However, not as many knew it could be also used for energy. But with the search for more renewable resources, it's becoming more well known as alternative energy, especially in some farming and ranching communities looking for more cost-efficient ways to run the farm or ranch, as it already is very costly to own one. So my overall analysis is manure is a good and widely available resource for energy. The problem is it can and is negatively impacting the environment. Not many people invest in the method used to produce the energy, and those who do use it themselves or sell it, which is costly for others who do not have this easy access to manure. So while it can be an effective alternative source for energy for several people, the environmental and economic effect can be very negative. So really, it's your decision if it's worth the cost, basically. So, but my proposed action, if funding wasn't an obstacle, would be to continue to use the manure as a fertilizer, because you can't stop cows from producing manure. And so you might as well use it for something good, like helping produce crops, have it as an option, a much cheaper option than constantly having to buy from a local store. Also not selling to private companies who sell the energy at high prices and in high amounts, because the companies may start with 100 cows, but production then multiplies because of such a demand for renewable energy sources. And so they'll sell at such high prices in such high amounts that are just contributing more to CO2 emissions. So that concludes my video, and this is my works cited page.